Hello everyone, my name is Tahsin Rahman. I'm actually a project coordinator with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, otherwise known as the JDRF, as I'm sure many of you are aware of. It's a great honor to be here, and I just wanted to give the Michigan Helping Hand a huge shout out for allowing us to come in here and kind of present on how we could cooperate, what benefits we could bring not only to the community, but also to the nation and the world. As you all are aware of, JDRF is poised in stomping out juvenile diabetes. According to the Center of Disease Control, approximately 15 million Americans are currently coping with type 1 diabetes. This includes 85% of them being adults and another 15% being children. Now, the 15% being children isn't too shocking considering juvenile diabetes, as the name suggests, starts at birth. However, it does make the situation that much more serious. Furthermore, we must consider the mechanism and the lethality of the condition in order to just see how serious the problem is. According to physicians from the Detroit Medical Center, type 1 diabetes is caused by a person's immune cells attacking its own insulin cells. This means that the cells of the body can't differentiate between what is a bacteria, a virus, things that it would typically attack, and things that are hosts, such as the insulin cells. As such, there's less insulin in the body. Now, insulin is the hormone in the body that allows the cells of the body to get energy from glucose. So imagine the cells of the body not being able to get the energy that it needs. This could lead to many different complications. According to the Mayo Clinic, type 1 diabetes leads to many things such as heart disease, kidney failure, nerve damage, and even pregnancy complication. Such issues can then take a huge toll financially and psychologically, not only on the patient, but also the families. Think about the medicine that they have to afford, the regular visits that they need, the machinery that they need in order to take care of the conditions. These people need some sort of support. Unfortunately, the causes of diabetes remain a mystery for the most part, even with today's medical breakthroughs. We have narrowed it down to either being something to do with genetics and environmental factors. However, we can't focus in on what the specific factor is in order to get a cure. We have made it a mission to bring some light to the situation. Founded in 1970, JDRF has grown into a leading organization dealing with type 1 diabetes. We have currently more than 100 locations spread throughout the nation, funding more than $568 million to research. With more breakthroughs than any other organizations dealing with type 1 diabetes, we are taking passionate steps toward creating a world without type 1 diabetes. JDRF-funded research has led to many landmark advances in type 1 diabetes science. JDRF, we feel like, is now in the best position to tackle the disease and translate it into real therapies that will make life-changing decisions for those facing with the daily challenges of type 1 diabetes. Currently, JDRF is funding more than 50 clinical trials, several of which are in the advanced stages of clinical testing and are just waiting for FDA approval to be integrated into society. Furthermore, JDRF's influence and leadership extends well beyond fundamental research. We've taken strategic moves towards partnering with industry, governments, academia, healthcare insurers, clinicians, and different foundations such as you, Michigan Helping Hand, in order to ensure that JDRF's goals are reached and that its partners are aligned with the overall goal of creating a world without type 1 diabetes. JDRF's advocacy efforts take many different angles in order to make a world without JDRF, or even a world that has less stress due to JDRF. Our focus includes increased government funding for type 1 diabetes research and a regulatory environment that allows people with JDRF to kind of test with the therapies and devices as quickly and safely as possible. At the end of the day, we have to remember that the patient comes first, and we have to make sure that these patients feel safe and comfortable with what we are doing. Finally, JDRF's outreach efforts provide practical support and resources for people with type 1 diabetes and their families every step of the way through type 1 diabetes. We want to act more than just doctors or physicians or nurses that are just feeding people medicine and different therapies. We overall want to be a community, a support system that these people can rely on in order to get the care they need, but also to just be a friend, to be there in order to support them. With these goals in mind, we're taking every step we can in order to finally figure out what type 1 diabetes really means and how we can get an end to it. With that being said, we have plenty of projects, and in order to go into the specifics, I have my colleague Jimmy, who will describe what we're doing, where your money can contribute to helping us, and how we can volunteer together to make this world a better place. So without anything else being said, I'd like to give it up to Jimmy.